I noticed my ex-wife around the corner of the parking lot as she was walking to meet me for the first time since our separation. When she saw me waiting for her at the entrance to the cafe, I noticed that she hesitated a bit before continuing on her way. I smiled disarmingly and said hello as she continued to approach until we met at the entrance and walked inside. After saying a quick hello, I directed her to a vacant table by the window where a rather tall and trim man about our age was sitting. "Emma, this is my longtime friend James. James, this is Emma, my ex." They greeted each other, and I pulled Emma's chair over to the window and sat her across from James so I had a direct view. "Emma, I haven't seen James here in years, and yet we used to play in tournaments together. We've kind of lost touch, and recently I've had a reason to contact him, as friends should, because something has come up that I think needs his attention." James nodded, but other than the earlier greeting, said nothing. "Thank you for coming, Emma," I continued. "You've said several times that we'll remain friends even after you find the love of your life. I still have my doubts, but the circumstances and the proximity of meeting James today made me think it might work out. I'm still terribly angry about what happened, but what is, and if you can avoid talking about it or our past, we can figure out if there's anything here to continue being friends." "I'm sorry things worked out the way they did, William, but—" Emma began, but I interrupted her by giving her a hand sign for her to stop. "Please stop, Emma," I replied. "I don't care, and talking about it isn't going to make me more open to friendship." I smiled, trying to lighten the mood. Besides, James probably doesn't want to get into this discussion either. He has enough on his mind as it is. I invited him to sit with us until his wife is ready for him to join her. How do you do?" Emma's initial frown was replaced by a smile. She'd lost most of our mutual friends when I was ceremoniously dumped, and she moved in with her soulmate. "Things are looking up, work has stayed the same, and we're starting to settle into our apartment," she began. Pausing to make sure I would remain silent, she continued. "My parents and sister aren't at all disposed toward you, but they'll be happy to hear that you've gotten in touch and we're at least communicating. I know my dad misses you. How are you?" "I miss him. They do too. Please tell them I said hi. I don't think it's appropriate to contact them at all, but maybe time will change that," I replied. "I'm doing well, although I'm still a bit insecure about most aspects of my life, so I'm trying to get back into other activities. For example, I ran into James's wife the other day and had a chat with her. We may be just acquaintances now, but we used to be friends. You know me, I value good, honest friends that I can count on." Saying that, I hoped a smirk didn't appear on my face. Suddenly, James spoke up. "Yes, although I lost touch with William a few years ago, and I'm sorry, but that's what happens when we raise our families. I've had so many false friends over the years, it's nice to know that people care enough about you to do the right thing. And Emma, I think I'm going to be that kind of friend to you," I said, looking out the window of the cafe. Across the street, James's wife and Emma's significant other were kissing as they entered the boutique hotel. James had already jumped up from his seat and was running for the door, crossing the street. It was unlikely that he and Emma's soulmate were going to be friends. Emma sighed and looked back at me. I stood up, frowned, and sighed, getting ready to leave. "Please let this be the last thing I do for you as a friend. I didn't like it at all." Subscribe to our channel to keep your partner from cheating on you, and listen to the next story because this story is nothing compared to the next.